this is Lisa Marie Garcia. I am with CEO Book Publishing, and this is one of my most fun parts of my week. Is called Now Conversations, conversation with book authors. And I like to say, which is the truth, that I get to ask the questions that only a publisher would know to ask. So we have a great show this morning, and please let's go ahead and take a drink of our coffee. And when I say let's, I'm meaning myself, and I'm meaning anyone that's watching because I can use coffee. So I can use my caffeine burst. So thank you for joining us. This show is going to be awesome. And now I have coffee on my lips, so that's great. This show's going to be awesome. We have an amazing author. Let's see. She's working now on her fifth book. She's a five-time ex-author. Two titles have recently come out. She's got two more coming out very shortly. Her name is Cristina Matta. And here's the fun part of it for us and for our team is that she is a fiction author. So there is so much more to learn about her. I'm just going to bring her up on stage because, as you know, as you're watching these shows, the time goes very fast. So welcome, Cristina Matta, to the show Now Conversations.
Good morning.
You look so bright and chipper. You must have had your caffeine enough by now, maybe?
Pretty much a whole thing of it. Yeah, the whole.
There you go. It's funny how it works that way, right? You seem to feel happier. You seem to feel you're awake. My first book, just talk about me for 1 second. My first book was called Never Drink Coffee During a Business Meeting. And, so of course, some of the dig in was all the benefits of caffeine. There's a lot of benefits. So, namely energy, hashtag love our caffeine, right? All right. Well, enough about that. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So there's so much unique about your books. And I'm so happy that we're a part of your publishing journey, although you didn't start with us. By the time we met you, you had written 2 or 3 books. Was it 2?
Well, that depends on how you classify it. But yeah, about 3, couple unpublished. Yes.
So we call types like you prolific writers. And sometimes we have authors that had written their debut book with us and then became prolific authors. Just kind of talk about even that. How did you start to love writing? Did this start a long time ago? Has it started recently? Has it changed? Talk about that part of being a book author, please.
Yeah, sure. Well, I've been a reader my entire life. Love to read. I was always incentivized by my parents to read and got my love of mysteries from my mother. Love to read mysteries. And so the main, I would say the milestone of when I started really writing as a mystery author was after a 2007 earthquake in South America that I thankfully survived, wrote about it to avoid talking about it. And I got a lot of positive feedback from that. And from there, just because I love mysteries, it kind of morphed into a mystery novel. And that one is, as you referenced, will be coming out hopefully later this year.
Sorry, I was on mute for a moment, but so definitely the whole reading can help your writing capability for sure. And I've seen that in my own life with my 2 daughters, avid book readers still are, and they have, great public speaking and speaking skills as well as great writing skills. So all you moms out there, I'm sure you know that, all you parents and dads know that, but a great start. And it's wonderful because I think you told me the last time we talked that you even have more books ideas in your head. So I love people like you. You're like, oh, and then after that, I'm going to do this one and this one. So it's definitely a fun thing for you and great. So let's talk about, I want to specifically talk about, so right now you have this book series called Crack the Case Books. And so we just put on the comments there, Crack the Case Books. And I'm going to actually, let me put up the, let me go ahead and let people know that's on screen there. There is your website so people can dig in. But this is one of the most unique types of endings of any books I've ever been a part of or I've ever read. And I'm always reading, besides our own clients' books, we've got about 4 books in process, like almost all the time of my life. So you gotta let us know about this. It's so cool. Starting with your first book in Mishaps, correct?
First book was Pears.
Sorry. There we go.
Uh, thank you. So this book, the series, so as you said, I have many ideas in my head. There are two books that are out already on Amazon, two that we're working on now to get published, and then there's a couple more ideas floating around my head. I've already started outlining them. It's a formulaic type of thing. They're all humorous, sarcastic mysteries with several suspects. And as you referenced, there are three different endings at the end that you can choose which one you like. But the most exciting part is that you can actually write your own ending to who you think the suspect should have been, and you can email me your writing, and I will look at it and maybe post it on my website for everybody to read. So it's kind of an interactive kind of mystery series for everybody to get involved. Um, Also,
It's
I don't know
Go
if
ahead.
you wanted me to keep talking, but the website is interactive as well. I have a weekly posting, Ned's Notes. Ned is my detective, as you can see on the screen there.
There's no.
He has a running story of his own in the books. But since the books are mainly focused on themes, kind of funny, making fun of life themes, Pairs is about online dating, kind of trying to laugh at our foibles, as human beings. Um, but as the books are focused on themes, life themes, Ned's Notes is focused kind of on the back end of the crime scenes and a little bit more about Ned and details on the murders. So that's kind of a weekly thing that you can go on and check out on crackthecasebooks.com, and that will be coming out every week.
So just to reiterate, and we're going to give a preview of the next two books in the series because they're very close to being finished, but I'm going to hold that off till for a little bit. But again, to reiterate, so it's so super fun because what happens is you get to the end of this incredible mystery, and like you said, I love the concepts, the pairs about online dating and that, and you get to the end of your novel, and it's just a fun. Let me also, before I say to the end, from the beginning through the middle to the end, it's just a really fun. I think there's some fun humor in it. It's just a fun light. Kind of takes you. It's just a great book to take you out of everything else that's going on. All the other pressures we have, all the other deadlines we're trying to meet, all the other stressors we have. It's just enjoyable reading, and I want to congratulate you on that because it is just super fun, enjoyable reading.
Thank you.
And you can't always say that. Well, you're welcome. And you can't always say that about books. And we buy books, book readers buy books for different reasons, right? Some of us buy books because we want to, be educated about a certain thing that we, are interested in, right? Other times we want to be inspired about, someone. I'm a person that buys a lot of business biographies. I want to hear how they made it. And it's always not an easy road, and it's just always usually very interesting. And then sometimes I'll buy a book because it did pique my interest to be reading a little bit about it. Maybe I saw an interview. These days it's fun because I'll see interviews with the author, right, on YouTube. Or this interview, here you go, got an interview with Cristina Matta where you say, oh, she sounds interesting. She sounds like a person that could give me a little, could provide some entertainment and a break in my day as I'm reading her book, which is really what your books do. So I want to say that because that's another unique aspect of your books. But so to go to the end, and then I want to ask you, I have another question I'm dying to have you answer. But so basically, you get to the end of these two books, and then also you've got the next two coming up. And when you get to the end, there's a section that says, go ahead and kind of say what it says.
It says join in, write your own ending. There are average 10 suspects in each book. So my three endings deal with three different suspects, but there are 10 to choose from. And you can decide who you think murdered the murder victim that
Yeah.
is introduced in the beginning of the book.
So it's so fun because you're like ready, and then you're like, okay, and then you read scenario 1 and 2 and 3, and then you decide, and then you took it a step further, which is what we've been saying for years to our authors. It's more than the book. People will read the book, and first of all, if they fall in love with your book, they're going to want to know when's the next one can I pre-order the next one and the next one and the next one? Or they're going to want to say, they're going to want to say, okay, now how do I implement all this great wisdom that you've given me, like in business books? They're going to want the field guide or the workbook and such. So we've been saying that it's more than the book, and you knew that. And so that's why you're talking about, you've got your online website, you've got your interactive, hey, submit an ending and let's see if I can work with you. So many unique and impactful parts to your novel series. I do want to ask you to speak on something that we did here, and this is something that only your publisher and you know. And actually, it was sort of a fail, but it was an idea that we had, right? And let's just, throw that out, because you might be a book author that hasn't published because you've had your own small failures. And I definitely want your advice to other authors after this question. But can you uh, share with everyone what we were going to do at the beginning, and we tried and failed with this book that I'm adding to Stage Mishaps, and with this book called Pears, if you would.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So when we first started talking, um, the books are short. So I started writing Pairs in 2021, kind of around the pandemic, and people's attention spans seem to be a little shorter, and maybe the funny and satirical part came out of just we all just need kind of a little bit of humor right now. So because the books are a little bit shorter, you guys suggested we do a flip book. And so I thought that was really fun, that Pairs and Mishaps would be in the same physical book, just one flipped over to be on the opposite side of the other. The fail part was that apparently there are no online services that can actually print that. So that might be something coming up that Amazon or other people can do, but at this moment that is not possible. So the good news
Well,
is that
yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
The good news is that
Well,
Pairs and Mishaps are physical books. They're ebooks and soon to be audiobooks. So
that's right. Actually, let's just have an update right now. So the update is the video files are done as of Monday to be uploaded.
nice.
So Pairs will become an audiobook, and then right on deck is Mishaps and all your books. We believe they need to be in every format, which you believe that as well. But yeah, just to go back to that. So, the publishing industry, and I've said this many times, I say this all the time. The publishing industry is very kludgy, KLUGE, meaning just no industry standards. Changes is so dynamic, and even people that aren't in the publishing industry understand how dynamic it is with self-publishing, with yes, brick and mortar stores, no brick and mortar stores. I am happy to report I just went to the brand new Barnes and Noble store in Carrollwood. I'll just give a plug for that. It's amazing, and what I understand is Barnes and Noble will open 65 new brick and mortar stores in 2025.
Oh wow.
I'm right. I'm so happy about that. But
Yeah, that's good.
the point is, you never know what might work this year that doesn't work next year. So to us, when we started working together, we made this beautiful flip book where you get to the end of one, you go right into the next chapter, flip it around to the other. Beautiful cover design, beautiful interior. We'd never done it before. I mean, kind of an up, half of the manuscript upside down, all of that. And we uploaded it, we had it uploaded with you, and Amazon's like, nope, we don't like your cover art on the back. So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I think it's good to know. It's one of those things. So at first, we resisted. We can be honest about that. Meaning, you and I got on the support calls with KDP Publishing, and the the initial reaction was, how does Amazon have any problem with particular cover art? Can you imagine the gazillion cover arts they see across the world for people uploading their book, right? And unless it's, if it's not obscene, and if it's not vulgar, and if it's not, that, which it certainly wasn't, how can they say they like cover art or not? As long as the ISBN is in place and it has that. So I fought that for a while, just to be honest. Uh, didn't go anywhere. And then went through, I think we had, I would say we spent probably a good week of labor off and on making calls to
Yeah.
support, right? trying things. We would change things on our end, whether it was my book cover designer or interior. You were so patient. So thank you for that. And I just didn't want to give up because it didn't make sense to me that it couldn't be a flip book. But apparently it cannot, Amazon will not publish a flip book. So in case you're thinking about doing something like that, I know you can't. But so,
They are working on it though. That's what they told me, that one guy. But who knows how long that'll take.
the one support guy. And he's been fired. No, just kidding. That's great. I hope so. But either way, you've got your two, mishaps and pairs you can buy, and then soon to go to the soon to add Rex and Critters. We're going to show those in just a moment. I want to ask you though, before we get too far into this and the show's over, can you give advice to authors um, to inspire them to take that leap to make it happen? Because maybe I meet a lot of these kinds of authors. Maybe they've been sitting on it for a long time. What can you speak to, especially since, 5-time author to be? You've been doing this for a
Oh,
while.
yeah, absolutely. Be persistent, never give up, because I've been doing this. I've been trying to get my novel published since 2010. And it's been published, it's been rewritten in several different iterations. And then this next one that'll come out hopefully soon with Lisa will be hopefully a little more successful. But be persistent, know your own worth, share it, ask people to read it out loud, and just have fun with it.
That's good advice. I mean, never give up. And then if you're thinking of giving up, never give up. I meet people too that haven't even started writing, but they have a number of people that have told them you need to write a book. And then usually when they'll articulate that to me, then they'll say, and I believe I should write a book. And so it's that idea, then what are you waiting for?
Right.
And it's because you can probably speak to this, there is never the right exact time that just the sky, the seas, what is it, the seas part, and everything is in perfect harmony and you have all this time to write a book. That never happens.
No.
At least I've never, right? So what would you say? Let me ask this question though. What would you say that was a difficult part of your journey, or maybe one that continues now? And I'm thinking of like a writer's block scenario, but what is something that seems to happen that you have learned how to get past to keep things going when maybe you don't feel like writing? Maybe you're like, I'm done, this is over, this is not fun anymore. I don't know if you've experienced that.
Oh, sure. I think every author experiences that. And I think it's just giving yourself that grace and time to walk away from it for a little bit and get it out of your head. Something that helps me a lot is going for walks. So my dog passed away in 2020, but when I walked her 3 times a day. And every single time I did, I came back with new ideas to put down on paper, computer. So find that thing that helps you out, take a break, come back to it.
That's good advice. Definitely good advice. And then, we used to say also, it, it, again, it's a mindset. Just like I talk about entrepreneurship a lot. It's that mindset to keep on going to, okay, and the mindset as far as a writer's concerned, right, is do you want to get to the finish line? I mean, we've had clients over the years where they are so close. I mean, like it's right. Like we have a date, we're there, and they get something. I call it a writer's fatigue, author's fatigue, where they are like over this process and they don't even want to read or proof their book anymore. They've like,
Mhm.
I've read it 100 times, I proof right. And I said, guess what? You have to. We're not done. You're so close. Just keep on digging. And it's those really hard times that usually produce the best. And they're always happy when they get on the other side. I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm glad I
Yes.
did what you said, and we've seen it, it's not like we've seen it once, we've seen it several times. So it's real, like
Oh,
you
it's
said.
definitely real, and I think maybe listening to other authors say that it's a thing, maybe they'll feel more confident because maybe they feel like that they're the only ones that do this. Or being a writer is not easy. it may seem easy to people, but it's really, really, even with these shorter books that I write, it's like connecting one book to another. The understory with Ned, I gotta remember things, and so yeah, no, it's not easy. Get some support. Find a support system. Lisa's a wonderful support. So, and be persistent. I think that's the number one thing that I've learned over the years. Keep going.
Well, very good advice. And thank you very much for the comment. And I'll just zell you a little bit later. Just kidding. We're very happy to announce with you, let's talk about that before we run out of time here, that we are publishing and helping you right now. And now help me. Are we Rex or I should be able to know. Rex or Critters, which is three, number three in the series.
Rex is number 3, and then Critters is number 4.
Okay. And I did put them in order for that. So yes, so we're happy to announce that Rex, These Accidents Will Be the Death of You, book 3 in Crack the Case series is due out within, it's actually due out within 60 days. And we have Critters, which is book 4. And I just love this whole concept. The animals will be the death of you. And share, I know the story here, but share how you got the name Critters. I love it. It's so fun. How
Well,
you thought of that title.
I mean, I have to be honest. I was trying to find like short, mm, slightly
Catchy
funny
title.
words, because pairs was the brilliant idea of somebody else, which helped me out because I talk about my books to other people. Thank you for not. I'm not going to give credit for myself, but that's actually a play on Match. The website, dating website. So just short, kind of funny words. So you take animals and you think, you get your thesaurus out and you think, okay, what can I do? So yeah, that one is based in a sort of a park like Busch Gardens or SeaWorld, and so the murder victim gets murdered there, and so it had to be something like that. And Critters, I thought, was a cute little title for it.
It's super fun. Didn't you say something about like you hadn't heard, wasn't that familiar with that? People saying critters, critters, and you were hearing people say the word critters and that, or am I thinking of something else? Maybe. Can't remember.
I don't know how many people use that word nowadays. Yeah, it might be
I think
something
that's
a little bit, you know, like somebody will
unique.
stop and say, "Oh yeah, that word."
It's
Now,
just
but
a fun.
with
Mhm.
Rex, that's the one that I come from the north, outside of Chicago, and we don't tend to use that word for accidents, car accidents, or automobile accidents, and that's what this book is all about. So once I came down to Florida, I heard that word a lot more, so that's how that comes about.
That's super fun. So, and it's just, like I said, it's just a fun, interesting, you keep the reader's interest series. Are we doing more? And when I say we, are you writing more in the Crack the Case series? Or I know you have another series, but are you maybe planning to do more in the Crack the Case series other than
Yes,
the four?
crack the case will continue going after you read Critters. You'll still want to find out more about Ned and his backstory. So yes, there will be at least 6, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, more after that. But I definitely have several ideas. I have the outline already for the number 5 and 6. So
Which I
working
love.
on those. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Again, hashtag prolific writer. Congratulations.
Thank
That's so
you.
awesome. And we are, for those of you that are local, we're looking at having a book author event at a couple brick and mortar bookstores. One namely I'm thinking about is St. Petersburg. We've talked about that. There's another one out in Wesley Chapel, and they're just thrilled to have you and have such, fun book offerings. So that's going to be coming pretty soon. So keep in touch with CEO Book Publishing. And I knew we're getting close to the end. We are. So let me make sure. First of all, I want to make sure that people know how to buy your books. Yes, Mishaps and Pairs is available in all the formats on Amazon and such. And then coming to audiobooks, Mishap and Pairs, and then the next 2 titles will be available very shortly. And then we've got your crackthecasebooks.com website up. Let's end with, and then also you can connect with Cristina Matta. And what can we end with you saying, what do you hope that people will gain from your book? So people have heard what I had to say, but, from the author, yeah, end of the day, what do you hope that someone that says, hey, I'm going to take a chance, I'm going to go ahead and buy the first book in the series, Pairs, what do you hope that that reader gains?
What I'm hoping from Pairs and all of the books is that the reader laughs, has a good time, and also a connection. You know, all of us with the social media nowadays, we don't have a lot less connection than we used to, but connect with me, and, write your own, and it doesn't matter, just write it, and we can connect, and hopefully we will become a community of Crack the Case books.
That's such great advice, and that's great. I mean, that's what we need to do, right? There's so much physical benefits of us smiling and laughing, so we need to do more of that. So, Christina, Matta, thank you for continuing to write and really blessing us with these very fun, exciting, and very engaging books. So, thank you for being our guest on Now Conversations, and keep on writing and happy publishing. And thank you, everyone, for watching it. I'm Lisa Marie Garcia with CEO Book Publishing, and I really always love our Now Conversations.
I
Thank you for
appreciate
joining.
you.
You're,
Thank you.
you're welcome.